The world is full of differences. A relationship between opposites normally never changes. However, exceptions do exist.
Until fairly recently, the relationship Microsoft had with most open source communities was one of, in the best case, indifference, or in the worst case, Microsoft was seen as the big evil empire. And due to the big efforts that have been made to reach out to these communities in the recent past, that has been slowly but surely becoming better. The reason why it's so important for us to collaborate with Microsoft is because besides of open source developers, we're also a community of business people. We have to earn our living. And when we have to tell a customer that no, you can't have our tool in a Microsoft environment, then that's bad for everybody. It's bad for us, it's bad for Microsoft, it's bad for the customer. So it's much better if we can just give them what they want.
Hanno Lans is working as a freelancer for the Dutch government, amongst others.
I got in touch with Microsoft because we organized in Brussels this year the Drupal Government Days to see what kind of solutions there are for governments using the open source software Drupal. And then it's very interesting to see what kind of Microsoft solutions there are and if there is a way to integrate them. We had sessions about the Open Data Government Initiative to integrate that in Drupal, a session about SharePoint integration, and also we had a session about the mixed environment.
How do the customers benefit from the collaboration between Drupal and Microsoft?
For example, the Dutch Parliament will use Drupal from this year on for the intranet and the internet. But they also use SharePoint. And it will be very interesting if we can connect SharePoint and the Drupal solution.
Michaela Kraft is Open Source Strategy Lead at Microsoft in Western Europe.
One of our big goals is really to continue working on the interoperability. And when I talk about interoperability, we would like to make sure that Drupal or any other open source application is really running in the same performance like it does on other operating systems. The way we did create visibility in the community was on one hand side by sponsoring events, but also on the other hand side by having business discussions and working jointly on projects and helping and supporting each other. The reason why we would like to get in touch and work with this community is because our customers, they have more and more mixed environments. And at the end of the day, we would like to make the customer happy, to really have the choice of freedom to run the application which makes sense for the business, even in a mixed environment.
So what are the conclusions?
If I look back the last 2, 3, 4 years, Microsoft has changed as a company and we became far more open. And this is really in the benefit of our partners and customers.
For me personally, it's very interesting because now I can advise not only to use either Microsoft or open source solutions, but I can advise them to take the best of both worlds.
It's great that Microsoft is a sponsor on our events, and that's very important, and you get a lot of gratitude for that. But money alone is not enough. If you only sponsor financially and you don't adapt your message, you don't get in touch with us, then your message will probably not be very efficient. But if you get actively involved, people will listen to you and get to know you better.